Yeah, for my post this week in writing on how the Bible addresses mental health and specifically as well how that affects poverty, I really wanted to focus in the story on Elijah the prophet out of 1 Kings 19. That was really where my mind first went to, because in reality, when we look at the Bible, it doesn't speak about mental health and mental health conditions in terms that we recognize today, like depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, different mental health conditions like that. It doesn't address that because they didn't have those terms hundreds and plus years ago. Things have changed a lot in recent centuries. And so, but what it does still have instances of people dealing with the same things we deal with today. Just it's worded differently. It's talked about differently. And so my mind first went to Elijah, the prophet in 1 Kings 19. And I didn't really have enough space in my post this month to really get into the story. And so that's what I kind of want to do here is talk a little bit about what happened with Elijah. You see in 1 Kings 18, Elijah stands up and challenges and confronts all the prophets of Baal, of this other god that the Israelites have gone after and are worshiping. And he basically challenges them almost to like a duel, a face-off between the gods, essentially, that the prophets of Baal, I think it's 450 of them, are there. And it's like, okay, you make your sacrifices and see if your God rains down fire and burns up the sacrifices you've given him. And they're there for hours, like crying out to their God, cutting themselves, like just horrible stuff, trying to get something, and nothing happens. And Elijah says, okay, great, I build my altar, I put the sacrifice on it, and we're going to douse it in water, and just water overflowing around it. And then he calls on God, and God rains down fire and burns everything up, and all the water and everything. And so like just such a clear victory of God, the one true God, over Baal and the false god and all of his prophets. And so after such a defeat, or a victory for him, a defeat of their enemies essentially, and then when Jezebel, the queen at the time of Israel, gets word of this, she sends word to Elijah, and that's where it picks up in 1 Kings 19, that she says to Elijah, if I'm going to basically want you dead tomorrow, like I'm going to have you dead tomorrow. And Elijah freaks out, and he runs, and he runs quite a journey and out to, I can't remember where exactly it was. I want to say it was Horeb is what they called it, but he journeys quite a ways away, probably a couple of days journey, and then basically ends up passing out there. And in that moment, he's crying out to God, like, God, kill me. And, how we would understand something like this is he seems to be showing signs of depression, signs of anxiety, exhaustion, all sorts of things like that. Clearly, when you think about it, I mean, God just did this mighty thing here, and now he's afraid of a queen who wants him dead. And it doesn't maybe add up in a lot of ways, but when we see how God meets him there in that, he doesn't condemn Elijah. He doesn't put him down and say, what the heck, why are you doubting me? He doesn't do anything bad for Elijah. He simply meets him where he is there in the wilderness. He provides him rest. He provides him food. He provides him water twice. And in that food and water, he goes out into the wilderness, a 6 weeks journey into the wilderness. And so that must have been some food right there. And how God meets him there is just so profound, and I think really should affect how we treat others who are dealing with mental health illnesses and challenges, meeting them where they are and trying to help them in whatever ways we can. Sometimes we can do physical things to help people, like allowing them to get rest they need, allowing them to get the help they need. Maybe they need to go to therapy. Maybe they need to do some meditating or go to a yoga class or whatever. Just get out and go for a walk. There are physical things we can do to help those dealing with mental health challenges. And on top of that, praying for them and being a companion for them, reminding them of the truth of what God says, of who he says they are, and how he created the world and how he wants us to live in it. Those are all great things we can do. And so I think we really have to look at God and his love for us in how he meets mental illness and stuff like that in the Bible.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content of this video, please like, subscribe, and share with a friend. Don't forget to leave your thoughts on the topic in the comment section. To learn more, click the links in the description below. Have a great week.